You know, we don't really have a real leader in this country anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say Joe Biden is the president, he's our leader, and you'd be correct on paper, but, I mean, everybody knows he's out of his mind. He's barely hanging in there.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet we're going to talk about Joe Rogan roasting Joe Biden, as well as Trump's epic revenge rally, as he comes with a new message for his supporters saying that we must take back the Senate and, presumably, the White House. We're going to talk about all of this and much more. But before we do, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash a bell button for notifications for more content, and if you like the work I do, please share the video. And now a quick word from our sponsor, introducing our brand new sponsor, Webull. Did you know you could get up to 2 free stocks worth anywhere from $40 to $1,400 after you open an account with Webull and deposit $100? Everybody who joins and deposits their first $100 will get free stock. Folks, it's basically free money. And what better time to invest? They've got crypto, they've got stocks, and you can trade however much you're comfortable with whenever you want. Click the affiliate link down below and get some free stock. Join today. And we're back. First thing we need to talk about today is a life-threatening heat wave that has hit America and the Pacific Northwest. Now, not everywhere is experiencing a heat wave. Some places in the United States are experiencing floods, endless rain. Basically, things are getting pretty toasty and kind of messed up. I think everybody should know that in places like Portland, there are dangerous temperatures of up to 113 degrees. Seattle, for example, is going to reach 104 degrees, and the temperatures are getting out of control. So anybody living in these areas or living in the Midwest, you need to prepare for floods, for rain, and for heat. This is why it's very important to prepare ahead of time, but there you go. Let's talk about Joe Rogan slamming President Biden. Here on the Daily Mail, he says, everybody knows he's out of his mind. Joe Rogan claims that President Biden is mentally unfit for office and barely hanging in there. So the response of Rogan's guest, comedian Elias Slasher, was, everyone knows he's out of his mind, with Rogan adding that Americans are unhinged because we're not anchored down by a real ladder. Slasher noted that there's been a period of political unrest during Donald Trump's presidency, and that coupled with the pandemic had resulted in chaos. Well, I would say that it was pretty much Democrats going insane, going out and rioting, BLM, Antifa, they burned down entire cities. The left-wingers have been insane with Trump derangement syndrome. The story continues, quote, you have so much fake news opinions, there are so many outlets, it is maddening. Regardless of what you believe, you can't get a straight answer. You can't even substantiate your own facts with the right facts. It's hard to drill down those facts, Slasher said, and this is very wise and very smart. I absolutely agree. It is becoming increasingly frustrating to receive truthful information. That's why I think that people are way better off watching independent media than watching the mainstream media. At least from the perspective of what the elites want. I'm not going to tell you, eat the bugs, live in the pod, you're a bad person. I'm not going to tell you those things because I'm not a rich elite. And that is not my MO. That is not what I want. I do not want people to live in the pods. Do not eat the bugs. There's a story I really want to talk about that I feel like has not gotten enough media attention. In Colorado, there was a police killer on the loose who killed and shot a 19-year veteran of the police force. He was going out to hurt more people until a hero bystander came and stopped the killer. He stopped the criminal. Guess what happened to him? The police showed up, and in their incompetence, in their stupidity, they shot down and killed this hero. Yeah, outrageous story. Here on the Daily Mail, quote, my goal is to take out cops today. Chilling words of a Colorado police killer who gunned down 19-year veteran before being shot dead by hero bystander who picked up his AR-15 and was then killed by responding officers in a tragic mix-up. This story makes me really, really upset. So Ronald Troyke, 59 years old, shot dead Arvada police officer Gordon Basley, who was 51 years old. Good Samaritan John Hurley, 40 years old, heard the gunfire, rushed to the scene, and withdrew his pistol and took out Troyke. It looks like what happened was that after he took out Troyke, he retrieved the weapon, the AR-15, and then when police officers arrived, they thought that he was the gunman, and they shot him dead. Extremely upsetting. Here the story says, a 4-page letter written by a Colorado man before he shot dead a police officer with an AR-15 reveals his deep hatred of law enforcement. So Hurley shot dead Troyke, potentially saving the lives of other officers and civilians in the process. However, cops who subsequently arrived on the scene believed he was the original gunman and shot him in a tragic case of mistaken identity. It is, oh my god. You know what? This is why nobody likes cops. I'm so upset. So here's a picture of the police officer who was killed. May he rest in peace. I hope that his family can find some sort of solace. And then here on the right, wearing a We Are Change Colorado.org t-shirt, this is the hero. This is the guy who stopped the killer. He saved many people's lives on this day, and he paid the price. I am so angry at the police department. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Ashamed. But let's talk about the political climate and where we might be heading as a country. Is the Trump campaign is finally returning to the campaign trail, with Trump holding his first revenge rally to back GOP House candidate who's trying to unseat an Ohio congressman who voted for impeachment. Right, so Donald Trump is currently on the campaign trail, trying very hard to get rid of these traitorous, untrustworthy, fake Republicans and fake conservatives who basically sided with the Democrats. He's back to his old self, and I gotta say, I'm loving his speeches.
But the schools, when you take a look at schools, and you look at all of the things that happen, left-wing indoctrination camps, critical race theory is being forced on our military. Gas prices are spiking, inflation is skyrocketing, and China, Russia, and Iran are humiliating our country. Joe Biden is destroying our nation right before our very own eyes. The number one priority for everyone who wants to save America is to pour every single ounce of energy you have into winning a gigantic victory in the midterms and in 2024.
So I really like what he said there, and I hope that Trump continues to rally, continues to get that message out there, because I believe that these messages are more important than ever. I think a lot of people are tired of both Democrats and Biden, and it's only been less than half a year of Biden as president. Imagine how much worse it's gonna get. I find it very interesting that even traditionally left-wing pundits like Bill Maher are blasting Democrats and blasting big tech for their failures. This brings us to our last story of the day. Bill Maher is blasting big tech for censoring searches and posts, claiming that COVID-19 may be leaked from a Chinese lab. He says the following, quote, "You were wrong, Google and Facebook." And this really brings up a very important point about the modern kind of political situation in this country. Big tech is out there censoring people, being proven wrong, and then all of a sudden they have to backtrack. And this is happening all too often. The mainstream media, big tech, websites like YouTube, they are banning people for saying things that go against the narrative. Oh, COVID may be from a lab? That's an evil alt-right conspiracy or some nonsense, whatever they said, and they ban people for talking about it. But now, all of a sudden, the theory, a year later, has gotten attention. It has been accepted as very likely. And now what? They were wrong. That's all there is to it. And that's the problem with claiming that you can be the arbiter of truth. You are not. Google, YouTube, Facebook, you don't know any better what the truth is than any of us looking at information and facts. And this is the most annoying thing I find about modern social media. You do not determine the truth. And if I sound very heated in this 100-degree weather, it's because I am. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious.
Let me ask you about the media aspect of this, because I find this outrageous. Facebook banned any post for 4 months about COVID coming from a lab. Of course, now even the Biden administration is looking into this.
Right.
Google, a Wall Street Journal reporter asked the head of Google's health division, notice that they don't do autofill searches for coronavirus lab leak the way they do it for any other question. And the guy said, well, we want to make sure the search isn't leading people down pathways that we would find to be not authoritative information. Well, you were wrong, Google and Facebook.
Right.
We don't know. The reason why we want you is because we're checking on this shit. He said, we want to ensure the first thing users see is information from the CDC, the WHO. That's who I'm checking on.